I got some time to kill waiting out this thunderstorm, so I wanted to sound off on Waxgate. Now, the first thought I have about Waxgate is, in the age of the internet and social media, that's all content driven, and everybody is trying to be an influencer. Everybody's trying to leverage social media for whatever it is that they're doing, pool players included. So just about anything that happens becomes an opportunity for content and for exposure and what have you. So this is no different. Now, the more you can make something outrageous, the more controversial you can make something, the more you can create conflict, the more you're going to do that. You're going to gravitate to those types of topics, and then when something happens, you're going to frame it in a negative light to create conversation, to create outrage. That's how the internet flourishes and works, especially like YouTube and online news sources. But so that's how this has gotten whipped up. Now, to the question of the wax itself. Was it wrong for them to be doing that? Of course it is. If it's explicitly stated in the rules, then yeah, that's what I call it, cheating. Yeah, technically it is cheating. It's definitely unethical. Would it be anything that I would do in competition? Absolutely not. Now, I want to get to the reason why I think those guys might have thought it is okay, because they did point out the Filipinos. You have to understand that in the Philippines, they play in a tropical environment. It is very, very humid all the time. The cloth that they play on is not exactly Simonis. It's not slick. It's felt. It's filthy. They put mounds of powder on those tables. That powder gets onto the cloth, onto the playing surface. They play in very challenging, very slow, very sluggish conditions. So, and then they're not going to have ball polishers. They're not going to have high quality balls most of the time. So yeah, they're going to use wax for the cue ball to get some movement on the cue ball. So I understand why, that's probably a regular part of how they play and how they might think it's okay, because they're just that used to it. Now, to the issue of the reaction that was made that kind of started this whole controversy, to me, I think he blew it out of proportion. Probably said some things he shouldn't have, because if a cue ball is waxed and you're a professional player, you're an over 800 player, that means that when you go to a table and there's something different about those playing conditions, as a professional, within a couple of shots, you're going to be able to adjust for whatever that condition is. And it doesn't have to be a waxed cue ball. It could be higher humidity, almost no humidity. It could be especially on a diamond table, the rails being not installed correctly. Because if they're put down too tight on the table, then it plays really springy and really fast. It could be pockets not cut the right way, not installed the right way. It could be lights on a stream or a TV table, a broadcast table, that really dries the cloth out and makes the table play even faster. It could be an odd cue ball that they're using. It can be any number of things that changes the playing conditions. And it can even happen from table to table at the same tournament. So all things that professional players should be ready to adjust to, and then not use that as a crutch or an excuse for losing. So that's all I have. That's my thoughts. Just let me know what you think.